next speaker, she was a former account executive for MME Connections. Some of the accounts she has handled are Metrobank, Abbott, JFC Mang Inasal, and Fujifilm Instax. Currently, she is a senior account manager at Stephen AD. For today's event, she will be sharing you the different career opportunities marketing and advertising has in store for you and ways to excel in the field in the fast-paced industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we will present to you Miss Klaire Dulay.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Right, so kamusta naman kayo? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend this talk, and thank you so much for inviting me. So seeing you all now, ang dami niyo pala, it really makes me excited to do this talk today. So anyway, before anything else, allow me to introduce myself first. I'm Klaire Dulay. As mentioned earlier, I'm a senior account manager at 7AD. And I've been here for 2 years already. I started working last 2018 after I graduated from UST. I took up AD and Communication Arts. And if I remember correctly, I was in my third year when I realized na calling ko ata yung advertising. Like, it's so cheesy, but it is true. Like, I felt at that moment na this is really the field that I want to be in. So when I got the invite to talk today about the different ways to excel or be successful in the advertising field, I really got excited. But before I start that talk, I just want to ask you guys first, and hope you can unmute your mic, or if shy kayo sa chat box na lang. Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when people say advertising? Like, just one word, or what do other people tell you about it, kahit positive or negative? So, you guys can unmute.
Commercials po.
Commercials, okay. What else? Si Dara, alam ko nandito. I'm calling you. What do you think about advertising? Or what's the first thing that comes to your mind when people say advertising? Hindi ba si Dara? I can't see pala the chat box. Creativity, big idea, marketing, posters, ad copy, 6-second ads, tarpaulin, art, uniqueness, copy. All right. Okay. So those are all nice descriptions about advertising. So later on, we'll see, wala nagsabi ng anything negative about advertising, which is surprising. But later on, we'll see kung puro yun lang ba talaga yung nangyayari sa day-to-day life ng isang ahensya girl like me. So as
Claire, meron. Char.
I know.
I have negative something negative. Char.
Yeah.
Joke lang. Let's not ruin it for the kids.
Nakaka-relate kami kasi we're in the same field. So nagulat lang ako na wala pa kayong ibang negative na naririnig. But anyway, so as I was preparing for this talk, I actually stumbled upon a tweet that I feel like it's going to be relevant to our topic for today. It's a tweet from Kurt Vonnegut, and it's a story about how an archaeologist that he met changed his perspective about success. It's a long story, but I'm sharing with you the exact line that struck him the most. He said, being good at things is not the point of doing them. You've got all these wonderful experiences with different skills, and that all teaches you things and makes you an interesting person, no matter how well you do them. And according to Kurt, it honestly changed his life because he went from a failure, someone who hadn't been talented enough at anything, to excel, to someone who did things because he enjoyed them. So come to think of it now, there were a lot of people just like Kurt. Ako, that was me before. I have friends who think like that. Probably some of you think that way too, dati. Not just because you're not number one or just because you're not excelling at what you like doing. Parang there's no point in doing it. But in reality, parang the only reason that you should be doing what you're doing is if you're happy, if you're enjoying it, and if you find fulfillment in doing it. So it made me think, and that's why I asked you, what you think about advertising. Because when I was in college, a lot of people have different things to say about it. Now, if you want to join an ad agency, you should be this and that. You should be creative. You should be smart, well-spoken, mentally and emotionally strong. You need to know how to sell well. Must have a strong personality, a fun personality, etc., etc. And a lot of people are saying all these things, but today I'm here to tell you that you don't need any other reason to join advertising field or any other field for that matter, other than the fact that you're enjoying the things that are related to your job. So instead of tips on how to succeed in this field, I want to share with you real life stories and experiences of an ahensya girl and share with you some pros and cons about what happens every day in this field. So I know most of you like starting things with a good news, with something positive, but for today I'll be starting first with the negative perceptions about ad agencies, and then I'll be sharing later on some positive realizations. So let's start with con number one. OT is life. There are a lot of things to be done, especially now that we've transitioned to work from home setting. So I always need to work overtime. What's funny is, no March, when we started working from home, a lot of people thought na they'll have more time to sleep, to enjoy, to have to spend time with their family because they won't commute anymore, they won't line up sa mga terminals, whatsoever. But yung reality is that yung free time na yun was converted to time for work. And that's on top of the OT work that we render pa every day. So it really gets stressful. And the first thing that you'll hear from people kapag pumapasok sila sa office or pag pauwi na, OT ka na naman? Or ilang hours ka natulog? Parang ganon. And many people would say that the advertising field is just like New York. It never sleeps. And it's because people have to churn one campaign after the other every week. And there are a lot of projects ongoing simultaneously. So you're kind of expected to be a night owl just to make sure that you finish everything. And though it sounds kind of toxic or very, very stressful, my positive realization here is that all these things that I need to do in a day teaches me how to prioritize and manage my time properly. So as an account manager, of course, we're not only handling one brand. We're handling several brands from different categories: snacks, milk, pharma, bank, etc. And hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa brands mo na, oy, teka lang snacks, next month ka na kasi may prod pa kami ni milk. So you can't really say that because they have their own timelines. And on top of these productions that you're doing, accounts people have to cater to client requests, digest brief, make top quality strategies, ensure proper coordination and planning with creatives, pitch your strategies, your ideas to the clients, and make sure that everything is going smoothly. And most importantly, everyone is happy. And what made me happy is that I realized that all these tasks have helped me to become less panikera, because I'm very panicky. It taught me how to be more organized. I felt like before I was organized, but I realized now there's always room for improvement. It helped me become more detail oriented. I learned how to prioritize and how to manage my time properly. Okay, so that's for number one. In relation to con number one is con number two, which is things are fast-paced. As I mentioned earlier, you'll be handling several brands at the same time. And hindi mo nga sila pwedeng ipapos dahil lang busy ka pa sa isang project mo. And it happened to me just recently when my snack and my milk brand did their production at the same time. And although productions are very fun because of the buffet, of the iced coffee, of the free iced coffee, the celebrities that you'll get to interact with, sometimes it really gets toxic and stressful because you need to make sure that everything is perfect, everything is correct. But the good thing about it is that, or the pro thing is that it pushed me to put an extra effort to digest things, to make sure that I understand everything that's happening, make sure that projects are running, and it helped me, keep up with the people that I'm working with. And most importantly, because things are fast paced, it taught me how and when to ask for help. When I first entered the agency, of course, I had a lot to prove na, sige, kaya ko yung lahat, bigay niyo sa akin yung lahat. But then I felt the burnout. I felt sad and annoyed because I was doing everything. So later on, I realized that if I really love my brands and if I really care about my brands, I wouldn't mind getting extra hands to help me become more efficient at work and help my clients and creatives produce the best output possible. So as a tip, never be afraid to ask for help, especially when you really, really need it. Right. So number 3, kalhati na tayo. Clients are stubborn. They won't listen to the agency's recommendation. It is funny, again, because clients hire us to produce content for them, to develop campaigns for them. But sometimes they give too much bills, they give too much comments, na they end up changing the whole concept or changing the whole idea already. They ask you to come up with these great ideas, but end up, like throwing it away in the end. They also brief you on a Monday and expect you to produce an output by Wednesday. So we're like 2 days lead time. And it's true, just yesterday I received a brief ng lunchtime and they're expecting me to send materials by Monday. So I only have less than 2 days to work with my creatives to produce that content. So it is stressful, but how I found happiness in it, or what I find positive in it, is that all these client requests, all these comments have taught me how to listen, understand, negotiate, and defend. Of course, when you learn all these things, you become more efficient at what you do. You become better at what you do. And in turn, your clients and your creatives will trust you. So if you've already earned that trust, of course, the one of the things that will happen is that you'll be friends with them. But at the same time, if example, if they give you all these demands, and then you'll have the right to demand back na parang, okay, sige, kailangan niyo to, okay, kailangan ko din to. So, bigay niyo rin sa akin yan. Or di ka sa creatives na, hindi, di natin susundin yung ginagawa ng clients, yung gusto ng clients. Gusto natin yung idea natin yung masunod. But since they trust you, that you know the clients well, then, sige, they'll agree to find the middle ground para happy kayong lahat, diba? And that's something that will really make any accounts person happy. Kapag happy both yung clients mo and yung